This is college football game night.
It may not have happened until very late November, but in 2020, Newswatch 12's college football game night is back. It's crazy it took this long, but last night reflected how crazy 2020 can act. Thank you for joining us tonight. Always sitting or standing on my left is Josh Shelton.
All right, and always sitting and standing on my right is Cameron Derby. Cameron, you hit it right on the head. If Oregonians were begging for anything this year, it was a good Oregon State football game, and oh boy, did we get it. Let's go to the 124th meeting between the Ducks and the Beavers on Friday night. It started with a bang from a Duck. Jalen Redd puts his arm in the ground and stays up. 37 yards later, the Ducks are in the end zone, up 7-0.
Moments later in the newsroom, I said, what are the chances Jermar Jefferson busts off a fat one right here? Josh said, I don't know, there's always a chance. And he's right, there's always a chance with this guy. For the second week in a row on his first touch of the game, Jermar Jefferson houses it. The Beavers send a message right here. They will not bow down to the Ducks. The Ducks keep trying to get him. He just won't slow down. 5:30 left in the first quarter. Tyler Shuck gets you and me and the defense to bite on that option fake he loves so much. This after Shuck started 9 of 10 passing. Shuck has the Ducks up 14-7 early.
Back to the beast in orange. Jermar Jefferson chunks off another one here. On this play, Jefferson moves to 5th place all-time at Oregon State for 100-yard performances. He has now run for 100 or more yards in 14 times in his career.
The Beavs charging on that running game. The Ducks going more to the pass early, and why wouldn't you when a guy is as wide open as this? Nice movement within the pocket. Shuck hits Devin Williams, who's out on an open range. Country roads take him home 60 yards later. The Ducks are up 21-10. The game headed in the right direction. Josh, you and I both predicted that it would go this way at the half. Jermar Jefferson was carrying the Oregon State team on his back. 149 rushing yards in just the first half. And Tyler Shuck was playing exactly how he needed to be. Oregon pulling away and not really looking back. The Oregon State chunked off some big plays. You look at the first down comparison, 15 for Oregon, 8 for Oregon State at the half. So Josh, at halftime, this game, it was really all Oregon at this point. It was headed into the Ducks' favor, but you can't only play one half.
Yeah, you're right. The second half was much different, but at halftime, it didn't look like the Beavs were going to have the manpower to keep up with a 15th-ranked Oregon offense. But the Beavs would go ahead and flip that script, starting here with Zariah Beeson over the top, and the Beavs get within a field goal. Oregon, though, responding quickly. Tyler Shuck steps forward and then goes over the top of the defense. Hunter Kampmoyer has nothing but end zone in front of him.
Okay, so the Ducks are up 31-26. Fog clearing in the fourth quarter. Jermar Jefferson did fine in the fog. Take the fog away, it's really not fair. Jefferson finished 226 yards, 2 touchdowns. Beavs take the lead, 34-31.
Cyrus Abibi-Likio does what he does best, a 1-yard punch in, and the Ducks wake up and retake the lead.
There's more back and forth on this field than a tennis court. Less than a minute left. Yellow jerseys everywhere. But look at the rivalry fight. Oregon State near the 5 down 4. Jebbia on 3rd and goal. Both sides pushing and pushing with all their might. But ultimately, Jebbia stopped short. Following that play and heading into a 4th and goal, you can see right at the top of your screen, Jebbia goes limping towards the sideline and eventually falls on the turf injured. Absolute worst timing for the Beavers.
So on comes Chance Nolan, the backup redshirt sophomore, for the biggest play of his life. And what does he do? Simple. Sneaks it in on 4th and goal, and the Beavers take the lead with 33 seconds left on the clock. There's no greater moment for a college athlete than right there, but we know how fast the Ducks can operate. So we're not out of the Willamette Valley woods just yet.
9 seconds left. Oregon has their heels on the ropes. They try the old hook and ladder maneuver. They're going to try and do the old elementary school lateral game, but a bounce off Shuck's chest, and the Beavers shock the state and the nation. The Beavers win the 124th meeting between the Ducks and Beavers. Oregon's shot at a playoff appearance was slim, but it is now washed all the way down the drain, and a little party starts in Corvallis.
Oregon State controlled the running game. Jermar Jefferson goes into nearly every record book possible. We're going to dig into that in just a moment. Travis Dye led the way for Oregon on the ground, but never found the end zone. In the end, 93 yards for Dye. Tristan Gebbia playing the type of game that you have to play in a game like this. Thick fog through most of the game. Gebbia ends with 263 yards, but the most important thing, no interceptions. Tyler Shuck, on the other hand, throws 2 interceptions in crucial moments of the second half. We'll also show you those in just a moment. But Cameron, you said on Thursday night at 11, Oregon tends to win these big moments. Oregon State does not. Last night, for the second week in a row, Oregon State, they changed that.
Yeah, absolutely they did. Jonathan Smith and this Beaver team let the world know last night that they are actually headed in the right direction. And you could really argue coaching is what made the difference last night. In a rare moment, Coach Cristobal's team really didn't look that disciplined in the big moments. And Oregon State, well, they fought really hard.
And obviously really happy for our guys to come out on top. These guys have been working, believing, and they were able to finish the thing in the fourth quarter. They had some great performances really in all phases, but we got a special running back that makes a difference, and we got a defense that can, you know, they got the ball 2 minutes or so, and we get some timeouts, and they get that crucial stop for us then to be able to finish the game on offense. So obviously really happy and proud of these guys, and this is a special win.
Well, you know, we got a finished game. We didn't finish it, but you know, like we'll always tell our players, we take all these things together. Wins and losses, got to coach it better, got to play it better together, and have a chance to close out, a couple chances to close it. So credit to them as well. They deserve it.
If you take a look at some of the comparisons, the Beavers literally beat the Ducks at their own game. Oregon State had more first downs despite the Ducks having a lot more at halftime. The Beavers had more total offense. The Beavers ran 16 more plays than the Ducks offense. And in time of possession, Oregon normally has less time than the opponent, but the Beavers controlled the clock in important times.
Yeah, Josh, we could break down stats all night because they actually are really important, but I really think this came down to the fight for the Beavers in the big moments and the Ducks' lapses in judgment in those moments. I have several examples to break down for you. We'll start with Tyler Shuck. This is in the second quarter. Ducks looking to go up 2 scores near halftime. It's hard to see with the thick fog. We'll pause the screen for you, but look where this ball is thrown. There's 3 defenders in the area right here, but Shuck takes the chance anyway. The ball gets picked off. This is a big moment for Oregon to take control of this game. Shuck lapses in judgment. Second example for you guys, Tyler Shuck once again. This time in the fourth quarter, Oregon with another chance to go down and extend a lead. Fog's no longer an issue here, and once again, Shuck lofts it up into a spot where there's 3 Beavers to 2 Ducks. You can't even really tell which player he's going to throw it to here, and Oregon loses the turnover battle because of this type of judgment. So, Josh, this is the kind of thing that Mario Cristobal, he's harping on this all the time. Being smart, being disciplined, and it's really odd to see such lapses in the Oregon offense. And it wasn't just this. They lapsed on special teams as well, which cost crucial field position.
And Cristobal actually laid it out plain and simple after the game. These are the kinds of things that Oregon has to fix quickly.
We got to finish off the game. That's the bottom line. There's no way to can't sugarcoat that in any way, shape, or form, right? That's how you have to win football games. We didn't get it done, but I'm not pointing at the players, I'm pointing at ourselves.
Now, the Beavers did the exact opposite, and the Beavers are the group that in the past few years have had trouble in big moments. A lot of one-score games that could have been wins that weren't because of just 1 or 2 plays. But that was not the case in the last 2 weeks. For the Beavers, first quarter, this is following a 13-yard punt that set up Oregon in perfect scoring position. Third down, look at the effort from Andre Hughes Murray. This is the Beavers' only sack of the game, but it keeps Oregon from taking advantage of great field position. And now we'll go to the last minute of the fourth quarter. Crunch time. Gebbia hits a smart read to Colby Taylor, who just simply won't go down. He puts his arm down and gets an extra 3 yards out of this. It sets the Beavers up beautifully to win this game. That's what a rivalry fight looks like. That's the effort you need to win a game like this. And we could honestly talk about this game for the next 45 minutes and we'd still have more storylines to get to. It's just the Beavers' second win against Oregon since 2008. Oregon not capitalizing on good field position, and Oregon State's defense stepping up, really being the reason that Oregon couldn't really capitalize.
Yeah, and it was the Oregon State offense that kind of took the air out of the football. Over 34 minutes of possession compared to Oregon's 26 minutes. The reason for that, the Beavers dominated the ground game, and that's thanks to one Jermar Jefferson.
Well, it's impossible to talk about this game if we're not going to bring up Jermar Jefferson. From his first touch on Friday, Jefferson was absolutely electric.
Yeah, and part of his motivation came from his performance in last year's rivalry matchup. It was a story of redemption for Jermar Jefferson. In 20 attempts against the Ducks last year, Jefferson ran for 81 yards and a touchdown. But it was what happened with just over 2 minutes left in last year's rivalry game that he remembers most.
Obviously wanted to redeem myself from last year, what happened in that fumble. So
for 363 days, this play has been on repeat in Jefferson's head.
Run away from his wall of blockers and then fumbles. And that is Oregon ball.
I knew coming in this year, I studied hard. I was really ready for this game, and try not to make any mistakes.
So on the second play for the Beavers offense, the ball went to Jefferson.
Who's one of the best running backs in all of college football. There's the first carry, and there he goes.
And Jefferson ran into the record books. 226 yards rushing, the most ever in the 124 times these two teams have met, all resulting in a game Jefferson won't soon forget.
I just feel like it's number one, one of the biggest games I've played in.
In 2020 in Corvallis, redemption is spelled Jermar.
82 yards, my goodness.
Wow. As mentioned, 226 yards rushing and the most ever by a player in the Oregon State rivalry. The record previously held by former Oregon running back Jeremiah Johnson. He ran for 219 yards in the Ducks' 65-38 win over the Beavers in 2008.
And while Jefferson has cemented himself in rivalry history, he's climbing in the ranks in Oregon State history, too.
Are we really surprised, though? I hate saying it, but in a normal season, there's no question that Jefferson is in the Heisman conversation.
Yeah, there's no question about that at all. So we're putting Jefferson on record watch for the rest of the year. Here's where he stands among Oregon State rushers. The closest on to first place is career 200-yard games. Yesterday's performance has him tied for second, just one behind Steven Jackson. Remember that game? That was at 4. He's also now 5th in career touchdowns and rushing yards. We'll keep you updated on how he's doing this year as the season goes on.